the Sigma 10-18mm f2.8 APS-C lens. In this case, it's for Sony E mount. This thing is fantastic. Hope you enjoyed that little montage. Everything in that video was shot with the A6700. Everything in the video was shot with this lens. For everything filmed, we were filming at the highest possible bitrate in the highest possible settings. All photos and videos have been taken in RAW or in S-Log3 and then edited by myself. The cost of this lens is $599 US or 599 British sterling pounds. Which means, if you live in the UK, you'd be probably better off just to import one from some other country, as it would almost certainly be cheaper. But if you don't want to do that, you can check my Amazon affiliate links, which gives us a kickback towards the channel. That's how I was able to get this. A few little kickbacks from Amazon on my last video, and I've got something new to show you. There we go. All beautiful and free from constraint. We're shooting today with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, something that I'll definitely cover later on, as it's a fantastic camera. And if you haven't got one yet, it really should be part of your kit. Let's talk about the unboxing experience. Sigma's unboxing experience definitely doesn't match their camera lenses. While easier to get into than most boxes, it certainly is contemporary. There's a bunch of leaflets and stuff inside, but crucially, this is where the lens comes from. But when it comes to the quality of the lens, that really does feel fantastic. I've got quite a bit of use out of this thing already. It is honestly phenomenal. The outside is made of plastic and soft rubber. The plastics are not like what you find in a Happy Meal toy. It's more akin to the luxury plastic you'd find in a high-end Audi, BMW or a Mercedes. The same goes for the rubber as well. Just by zooming it out, and yes, this is zooming it out, it really does feel rather special. You'll have to excuse the condition of my camera. We did some muddy shooting on the weekend. As I was saying before, the zooming in and out really does feel like spreading the perfect temperature butter on that morning slice of toast. The focus pull feels equally satisfying. When I first got it, I tried a Dolly Zoom on my friend, hands-free, and it was smooth enough to perform a nearly perfect Dolly Zoom without being on a track or using a focus zoom or puller or anything of that nature. So let's talk about the quirks, because there really is a few with this lens. One thing to note is that this is a reverse zoom. So currently, right now, it's at its widest angle. As I turn, that's fully zoomed in. Takes a little bit of time of getting used to, but you do pretty quick. What this means for everyone at home is that you'll be fully erected at 10mm. And when pulling out, be at 18mm. My apology for the pun. I'll make sure to behave myself from now on. One really unique feature of this lens is the hood. It's a push and small twist configuration. Takes a little bit of time getting used to. It's certainly easy to do it from the other side of the camera, that's for certain. It does mean it has a slightly shallower design, and that means it's, well, smaller, lighter, although you will find yourself still struggling to reach the zoom when it is at its full 18mm. This lens is perfect for gimbals, I think, which is one of the reasons why I bought it. I have a Ronin RS3 on the way, should be pretty good for real estate work. The f2.8 aperture also means that you are going to be getting a decent amount of light, and the common 67mm thread on the front means that you should have some spare filters lying around that should be able to pop on this bad boy if you've got a small collection already. In terms of autofocus, this camera really does feel on par with Sony's latest and greatest. It's definitely fast when it comes to autofocus, and although I may be wrong about this, I'm yet to find a feature that I am actually locked out of while using this lens on my Sony camera. The clear image zoom still works. The focus appears to be fully working, metering, everything. This is very, very welcome. If I do find something that doesn't work in the future, I'll leave it in the description or in a pinned comment. The lens has 13 elements in 10 groups, which helps with fringing and warping. Even in its widest and most prominent configuration, photos were still sharp and going sharp out to the edges as well. Follow my Instagram to see more photos with this lens. You can find it on screen right now. This is a focus-by-wire system, and this technically means the motor is moving the elements. I will say, however, it is one of the best focus-by-wire systems that I've ever used. It feels very natural in the hand, which is nice. As far as I can tell, there's no focus lag or visible stepping with focal changes, and as previously mentioned, in the case of build quality, it feels a much more premium piece of kit than the price may suggest. I know $600 for an APS-C lens without optical stabilization sounds like a lot, but when compared to the competition and the images it produces as well, it really does seem like a no-brainer, especially for video. Speaking of which, let's move on to video, because Sony's amazing clear image zoom makes this lens far more versatile than you may think. So if you're buying this for a Sony, you're going to have a very good time. For those not in the know, clear image zoom is a feature that allows you to enlarge an image with a resolution close to the original image quality. When they say close, what Sony mean is it's near identical. So because this is a 10 to 18mm lens, we times that by 1.53. So it's actually a 15.3 to 27.54mm lens. And with clear image zoom, that actually goes all the way up to 42.1mm, which means if you own a Sony that has clear image zoom, much like the A6700 that I have, this camera actually becomes a 15.3 to 42.1mm lens. That is a handy bit of kit, no doubt, but let's put the lack of stabilization through its paces and see what can be achieved in post, if necessary first. Now, I do have a gimbal, but I'm going to assume you do not. So here is me walking 10 paces with no in-body stabilization, normal in-body stabilization, and active stabilization, starting from the same point in 4K, 60 frames a second, with the same settings for each. Here is the same version where I actively tried to ninja walk, and using the motion data and gyroflow, here is a ninja walk with corrections. And if you are absolutely insane, here's a ninja walk with corrections and a simple warp stabilizer added to it. If you pair this with a gimbal, you can get some incredible results. But what about sharpness? Let's compare the Sony kit lens at 18mm f2.8. Here it is against the Sigma. Both were taken from a tripod with exactly the same settings. We have a clear winner, by the way. There's a few more images flashing up on screen. I will say I am mightily impressed with this camera, as is everybody else at work. If it had optical stabilization, it may be the best lens that I'd ever used, especially for the price, but then gyroflow may have more issues with footage and motion data, so we can't have everything in life. When it came to photos, there was one thing I really did not expect, and that's amazing macro photography. Here are some examples on screen. It truly is absolutely fantastic. Want to see something truly special? Here are my vans. There's no AI processing here, with the exception of Lightroom denoise. Let me know. Should I make a Lightroom pack? Would this be something you'd be interested in? I already have my full rig in the description, linking to Amazon, which helps the channel out and gives a kickback, as I've mentioned. But would you be interested in a Lightroom pack as well, with 30 or so presets for around $5 to $10? Let me know, and I'll make one if you are interested. Here's another comparison between the 18mm on the kit lens and the 18mm on the Sigma, and let's do some pixel peeping. You can make your own mind up which looks better, but to me, the Sigma is just showing off here. Obviously, when we start playing to its strengths, it of course becomes even better. I find it works especially well with dehaze in Lightroom. It really does show the details in clouds, for example. And of course, in terms of competitors, I believe there is a Tamron out there. But let's face it, that's more expensive, is 11 to 20mm, is heavier as well, and supposedly also doesn't take as good quality photos. If you enjoyed the video, then leave a like and subscribe, or leave a comment if you've got a question. Was there something I could have done better for my first lens review? Please let me know in the comments. Next time, I'm going to be showing you all what you can do with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and use it for some car filming, car photography, and best of all, dark time lapses. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.